Hey, what is going on, everyone? I am back. Sorry I was gone for so long. My air conditioning went out in my house, and I could not keep it under 92 degrees, so I was suffering. Give me 1 second. Let's make sure my stream is going live. Yep, looks like I'm live. Okay, awesome. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to keep it super simple and straight to the point. I'm going to show you simple AI tools that can help you. It's not going to be any fluff. Very simple, easy to follow. Okay, let's change my screen over. Let's make sure I don't have anything discriminating up on my screen. Would that be terrible? That'd be hilarious, actually. Let me pull up my live stream so I can see the chat, and then we'll dive right into it. Okay. Looks like we're muted. Looks like everything's working good. Okay, great. Okay, if you don't know me, my name is Jacob Chappell. I am a former licensed pest control contractor, former jet engine mechanic on the C-17, and now I teach online systems so that you can enjoy your Saturdays with a pocket full of cash. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about really quickly, and we all know this, is that there are like a ton of tools out there that all say AI, and AI is supposed to save you time, but it ends up that AI actually takes more of your time away because you have to learn it, so it's not really saving you time. This is super simple. Okay. Deep breath. Let's dive into it. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is this is the way that I structure my things, is I operate on Google Drive. So basically you have a Google Drive folder, and then from there I can connect everything else. It's on a cloud. If you want to back it up to like a local PC, you can, but it's accessible via laptop, on your phone, on the computer, however, okay? So I have a business folder, and that's inside of Google Drive, okay? The way I structure that folder is very simple. What I do is I have an inbox, and this is, by the way, look up a guy, is my thing working? It is. Look up a guy named Nick Milo. That's last name's M-I-L-O. And he talks about how to organize folders and stuff like that. He's super smart. Really like the guy a lot. I've gotten a lot of value from him. He nerds out on it big time, and I love to watch. It's awesome to watch passionate people do stuff they love. And he talks about folder structure. And what I got from him is I got an inbox. I got an atlas, which is a knowledge base. I got a calendar, which is a time-based thing. And then I got a project, an effort, which is a project thing. And then I got X, which is archive. The way that I do it is I name it the way he does. It's called ACE, A-C-E. You can name it Knowledge Tom Projects. It doesn't matter. It does help when you do it this way, because the ACE way, because it keeps it organized alphabetically, which helps. So yeah, anyway, so you have this folder structure, and I promise this is going to make sense in just a second, so stay with me, is you have an inbox. This is a catch-all. Everything goes inside of there, right? Like all your working and stuff like that, you just put it in there. And then from there, you organize it out, okay? Because you want to make sure that everything that's knowledge-based, like, you know, your websites, your offer, your pricing, your Google Business Profile information, like whatever you have that's permanent or semi-permanent, that would go inside of the Atlas or the knowledge base. Okay, and then next we have calendar. This is time-based things that are sensitive. Like, hey, this is due by this Friday. This is due by next month on the 15th or whatever. It's all time-based things. So things kind of come in here and go away. And I'll show you. It sounds like a lot of work, but with AI, it's not that much work. And then you have an effort, which is like projects. Efforts can have a lot of tasks with them. When I say effort, I think people confuse it with task. An effort is like a project. And projects have several tasks to get that project done. So this is your project. So let's say like you have an email campaign. You have I'm bleeding a little bit. You have a social media campaign. You have a whatever. It doesn't matter. It goes there. And then everything that's done and you're no longer using it, that goes into an archive folder. Okay. I wouldn't delete anything because you may come back later and actually need that. And we've all been there. It sucks when you do a lot of work and then you lose something and then you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do it again. So it helps just to save it. Okay. And what I do is I go to, can I pull this up? No, we'll just talk about it from right here. It's fine. Again, we can actually draw on here. For this, I use Drive, G Drive. It's called G Drive, Google Drive. Okay. Wow. Let's see if we can actually write this out. This is pretty horrendous, but there we go. What color is that? My glasses change it. Okay. It's still orange. All right. So I use Google Drive. When you pay Google Drive, it's like $20 a month. I don't have an affiliate link. I don't think they offer an affiliate link, so I'm not trying to push this to you. This is something that I personally use. I get no beneficial gain if you do it yourself, okay? Google does not need me to help them sell stuff, trust me. You get like terabytes of storage. You get AI in your Gmail. You get AI in your Google Docs. You get AI in your Drive. Like, and you can turn these things on and off if you're not comfortable with them, but it gives you a lot of options. And so I really like it a lot. It also gives you more usage on your Google Gemini. It gives you, which is here, gives you more usage on your NotebookLM. And I'll get to that in a second. Okay. So I think we got that. We can move on. So this is your storage, right? You can store it however you want to, but I put these in a folder on my computer. And we're going to go next. Okay. That is connected to the Google Drive right here. Let's fix this a little bit there. The Google Drive, right? Boom. Just like that. This from here, I will connect this Google, I can't speak. I will connect this Google Drive to Claude. I will connect it to Gemini, and I will connect it to NotebookLM. Okay. So the question is, how do you do that? All right. Well, if you download Claude, the desktop, you can do it on the browser as well. Either way, but you can connect. If you go to customization, you can do your connectors. You can connect Google Drive here. I connect Google Drive, I connect Gmail, and I connect the calendar because it can push emails for you. You can't actually send them. It can draft them, which is very helpful. And again, this is Claude. It can put things in your calendar for you, which is really helpful, and it can do a whole bunch of other stuff. But this is where you connect the Google Drive to. What you do, let's say, like, super quick rundown. There's a ton of videos on this. I don't want to lose you, but I don't want to over-explain it. So let's just go through it. Okay, so you have Claude. And then you can go down here to the files, right? And then you can select like what file you want to work from. So let's say like I add a file. For me, I added agents. That's a much deeper dive on that. But let's say like we go to that Google Drive that we have. We can go into right here. We see I have the plus, I have the atlas, the calendar, and the effort. I also have other things like systems, but that's a whole nother can of worms. But anyways, let's just say we connect this right here. So we connect this folder, and that's my J1 OS, J1 operating system. Okay, so this is how this works. Pretty self-explanatory. So now whenever I ask it questions from here, it has access to what's in there. Okay, really important. And then you can connect like connectors like, let's say, we have Google Calendar, we have Gmail, and we have Drive. Don't be tempted when you go onto Claude. There's like a whole bunch of stuff you can connect, and you're like, oh, this is cool. I can connect all these things. I did that, and then you find out that it's really not that useful. It's not helpful. There are some connectors that are good, like these are, but most of these you don't really need them. You're never going to use them, ever. Okay, so we covered that. So we got Claude out of the way. Okay, Claude's there. We got Gemini. Now Gemini is Google's AI thing. And you can connect your Drive. I think, do I connect? Man, it's been so long because I usually don't use, I'll show you what I use Gemini for, but I'm pretty sure it's already connected to your Drive. It's the same account, but yeah, add from Drive. So it's already connected to your Drive because this is the Google ecosystem. So you can connect it to your Drive and you can use it. And then also, bonus tip here, you can connect it to your NotebookLM as well. So if I go to here, I can go to more tools. Okay, it's going to embarrass me and not show it. Notebooks right there. Okay, I can add a notebook from here, which is super awesome. So I can also connect it to notebooks. And again, so what we're doing is we're spider webbing. This is the amazing thing about AI, is the fact that you can connect it to so many different things to where it can do a lot of different things for you, right? You don't have to babysit it. It can, well, you should actually babysit AI a good bit. Okay, so you have Gemini. We have that connected. Again, that's to the same Drive, and then NotebookLM. So if you go to NotebookLM, if you don't know what NotebookLM is, it's a Google product that you put your sources over here on the left-hand side. A source can be a website. It could be a YouTube video. It could be a note that you convert into instructions. It could be anything. But it will just pull it from here, and it will not pull from the web. Why is that handy? Well, because you can work from certain things, and it's not clouded by a bunch of online filler garbage. You can also do a lot of cool things. Slide decks, video overviews. I'll show you what I use. I use slide decks. I use the flashcards, infographics, and a mind map. I don't really use anything else. You could use data tables, but the number one thing I use is an infographic and slide decks. Those are the number ones. Okay, so what we can do to connect the Google Drive is we can connect it right here. We go to the drive, and then we go to here. We can go to operating system, and then you can connect your files and stuff right here. So this is really important. When you're like, this is the way I run my business. Okay, you're gonna have certain things. Like let's show you an example here. Where's my website? Here's my website here. Okay, here's my website. Claude helped me design this website, and it's an awesome website that's got a lot of cool stuff. Like it's really great. It's a full story going through it. I'm going to have certain things on here like my logo. I'm going to have my fonts, the coloring. I'm wearing orange glasses so I can't see everything. It's white. There's a slight vanilla tint to some of this text. There's a grayish here. This is a font. This is a different font. There's a certain look to the buttons I have, the UI, the background with the dots, right? You build, this is what I do. I build a brand and style guide. So if I go to Atlas, I will find... I just gotta look for a second. J1 Media Productions brand protocol. So it's a new thing I started doing. Not to name it anything. I started a new thing where I build protocols. So I built like a brand protocol. The protocol is like, this is how we do things. Inside of protocols, I build workflows. This is like how you connect this to this. This is how you do this to this. This is the onboarding sequence from this to this. And then on that, I have skills, which is trained skills from experts that you can utilize to fill in the gaps. But that's an advanced topic, and we don't have to go over that. So anyways, we have like, oh my gosh, excuse me. We have like a bunch of different stuff. Like here's the brand foundation. You could just build one file that's just brand style guideline, the voice and messaging, the copyright, the graphics, SOP, which is standard operating procedure. The README is like a code type thing to where it's basically like you want the AI to read this to explain what all of this is, even though the AI can figure it out. But it's good to have this. It helps. You could basically select all of this stuff. Let's just hold shift while we select. Let's hold control actually and select all these. So you can insert these into NotebookLM, and then you can ask it questions. Like I could say, what is my brand and style guideline? Like what's my style? What's my brand? Also, fun fact, you can add websites. So I could just go J1 systems.pro. You can add that in there as well. Okay. Pretty cool. Boom. Actually, you know what? It didn't add it right. Let me remove that real quick. Remove that. Okay. So back to it. You can add websites. Let's go to websites. Let's go to J1 systems.pro. And it may actually need to start with the HTTP. It's not going to. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. It's saying that it should start with this. So basically you can just, like mine's going to be HTTP. And then I'm just going to put this in the forward here and then insert it. Boom. Good to go. Okay. Now it's pulling from my website itself as well. It has all that in there. Okay. So it says, this is mine. J1 Systems is defined as a highly disciplined, dark, industrial, high contrast aesthetic and plain spoken, trust first message style. One brand, dark canvas, cream text, one disciplined orange. Forgot to turn on my cursor highlighter so you can see it a little bit easier. Heavy uppercase display type, and selling the answer to call, never the AI. Okay, sweet. We've got a whole bunch of different stuff in here. My pitches, we've got like Donald Miller, Daniel Presley, Alex Hormozy. These are people that I've learned from and I trust, and I think they have amazing stuff, and you can as well too. Awesome stuff. Okay, so we've got that. So you could do, this is like the most practical thing that you can set up, but you could do a lot of different things here. Okay, so let's go back. So we've got that out of the way. And then this is like the biggest thing of this video. The biggest takeaway, okay, is there is a ton of AI stuff out there that is said to save you time and or money, okay? But remember, we live in a world where we're always trying to sell our things. Those are people trying to sell their things to you. It doesn't mean that it may be a good fit, and so it might not, and therefore it might not actually save you time and or money. What is the most important thing for just like basic stuff is using AI is like a website, okay? It can help you a ton with setting up a website, with managing a website, a ton. This right here, if anybody wants to know about it, like how I did this is hosted on WordPress, and I literally tell my Claude, like, I want this done, and it will go do this. Now, yes, it did take some time, and I have spent a lot of time to understand this stuff and learn it. Like, it's not just something that you just tell it to do and it magically happens. There's a lot that went into this. But now I can just tell AI like, hey, I want you to go, like, I'll show you. Like when I do these live streams, I will turn them into blog posts that are for SEO, AEO, and keyword optimization reasons. And I'll take a NotebookLM that I have built, and I will basically put in the link for the live stream, and it will turn it into a blog post with certain data, and it will also generate slide decks, which are these images, and then I will feed that into Claude, and I will say, hey, push this to the blog, and it will write this blog up. So let's show you like a good example, right? Like here's a good example, right? This is all done by Claude, right? Like this is all done by Claude. This one's only got one infographic. I mean, I think that's fine, but here's one with a whole bunch of infographics. More doesn't mean better, by the way. You could do like one or two, but just show you an example of like what it can do. It generated all this for me, all of this, right? Looks great. And it also, the data inside of these images is enhanced too, and we can go over that more later. But it's called the EXIF data, the EXIF data. It's been optimized as well. So we can go over that more. But there's some simple ones right here, right? Like, do you need a website or just a Google business profile, right? It's important to have these things because this is a keyword search engine optimization, and also AI as well. So when people, come to Google and they search like, do I need a website? This might pop up. Like your article might pop up, your blog might pop up, and this will be the source of truth. Google business profile, it may pop up for that as well, right? Whole lot of stuff. It's freaking awesome. It's insane, right? Absolutely nuts. Okay. So it's really good. Let's get back on track so we don't get lost in the weeds here. So it's really good for building websites. It's also really good for handling your Google business profile. So we could go to NotebookLM and we could build like a NotebookLM Google review responder. Okay. So let me pull this up off screen. NotebookLM, and then I'm going to search. Some of these NotebookLMs I have are private. Let's go Google review responder. Okay, awesome. Okay, so like here is one I have for somebody, right? I'm gonna delete this chat history here. Oh, I just accidentally hit a button. Let's just stop that. Okay, here we go. So this is like, here's one I have for somebody, right? Here's a NotebookLM responder. So you could take like a review from online, right? And drop it in here, and it will automatically write you a response back. I know, like, it kind of bothers me when people say like, oh, it's only 30 seconds. It only takes you 30 seconds. It only takes you a minute. It's really simple. You should just go do it. It is never only just 30 seconds, and it's never only just time. It's the effort that comes in with it too. It's the stress. It's the not knowing. It's the deciding. The just everything that comes with it. So when somebody's like, "Oh, it's so easy to respond to Google reviews. It should only take you like 30 seconds." It never does. It's like 10 minutes because you got so much going on. You're fried. Your brain is fried. Your phone is ringing off the hook. You're super busy. So it's important to set up systems that make it easier for you. Not easy, easier. Keyword. So you can put in a Google review here, and it will spit you out a response. You can go paste it in your Google reviews. AI is really, really good for that stuff, like amazingly good for that stuff. Okay, let's go back to the graph. So we got that knocked out of the way. Oh my gosh, what a size of a check mark there. We just talked about reviews. Google Business Profile. Google Business Profile, like it mainly for reviews. You can write posts on there. You can help it. Get it to help you set it up and stuff like that, obviously. But the main thing for a Google Business Profile is getting it set up. A more advanced way would be GSC. GSC is Google Search Console, and that's where you can actually go and index your website for Google. That's important to do, but I'm not even going to touch that right now because that's just going to piss you off, and it's just really confusing. It's a more advanced thing, but if you want to know what it is, it's basically called GSC, Google Search Console, and it's indexing your website, okay? So we got reviews. It's good. Also, AI is really good for booking as well. You can go to Claude, and if your Claude is connected to your Google, right, you can tell Claude, hey, let's see. I guess I could write an example and show you, but you can connect it to your calendar, Google Calendar, and you can say, hey, I want you to set me up an appointment for tomorrow to call this person, and it will go set it up in your calendar for you, right? Like it'll do all that for you. You could tell it to delete things from your calendar. You can tell it to do any of that stuff. So it's really good for booking as well. For actually booking itself, I would keep it pretty simple. You can do Google Meet. Calendly is really good. Calendly also has a connector in here as well. If that's what you use, you can use Calendly. It's great. I use GHL. GHL is Go High Level. It's more expensive. It's very expensive actually. But it does a whole lot of other stuff. But you want to keep it simple, Calendly. I use that I used to use Calendly for like 2 or 3 years, I think, actually. And it was fantastic. So you can use Calendly, and then you can connect it to Claude as well. So really, really good for that. Follow up. So like text box and stuff like that. Really good. You know, I don't even do this because I'm just on top of it, but this is my job. You're super busy and you probably don't have time. Most people are super busy and this stuff don't have time. You can actually set up, let me just pull this off screen. I need like a private, I need like a streaming version of this, so I don't have to like share everything. But you could go to like, you could schedule certain things. Like you could schedule a task. Like you could say like, you know, people use it for like daily briefings and weekly reviews and stuff like that. That's all great. You could set it up to where it reminds you, or it writes you. Well, it can't actually send you an email. I have Telegram connected to it. That's a more advanced thing. I don't think it can text you, but you can have it set up to where it pings you, it gives you an alert, it writes you some way of letting you know, like, hey, you know, at this time today, check this. It could do your Google Calendar. It could do that. You know, it could set up something for you on Google Calendar, right? Anything you want. I wish I had a better example for you, but any example I give you is going to be more advanced. But if you find yourself forgetting and you know that you need to do it, scheduled task can really help a lot. So we have that. And that's pretty much it. The reason why I use Gemini, by the way, I don't think I touched this really, is Gemini is really good for graphics. Like anything graphic related that you need to do, Google Gemini absolutely crushes it. It's really good for that. I think that graphic designing stuff is going to be really hurt for a low level, like, what do I say low level? It's going to be really hard for like non-super giant, big commercial projects and stuff like that. But for like small businesses and stuff like that, this is going to be killer. It's so good. I'll give you an example. I've done this like 1,000 times in the stream though. I don't really know if I need to give it an example, but let's just do it. HVAC company. Let's just pull up. There's Simplify Heating and Cooling. So veteran owned, Marines, awesome. This link right here, by the way, this is like their tracking so they can see where you came from, which is awesome. But if I just basically copy this and then go to Gemini, and then here's the link, and I can say, here is my HVAC company. I want you to build a magnet graphic that I can stick on the side of a furnace. Okay, so we'll see what it does here. What I'm basically doing is whenever you work on like an HVAC, if you're an HVAC company and you work in the attic and you have somebody's furnace, a lot of times you want to leave something there. Like for instance, like my AC just went out for a week and I had Arizona Trademasters, they came out and fixed it. But inside of the thermostat, there's not a sticker for like, hey, like call us or something like that, right? And there's some digital thermostats might not have that beside them, but that's beside the point. Little bitty things like that are really crucial. Fridge magnets. You know, people check their fridge 3 times a day on average. But besides that, behind that thermostat, when they pull it off to check the batteries, it should, or like just to see if it's working, if it, you know, because my AC was out, I pulled it off to check. It should have like a logo or like a label, like, hey, you know, so and so, call us today, right? Like, you want it to have who you are, and then in this case, if it's on your, okay, so you want to have who you are, where you serve, and then the outcome, right? So like, or not who you are. I'm sorry, let me back up a little bit. I need to slow down because there's just so much. I get so freaking pumped up about this stuff. For something like that, right? You want it to be what you do. You want it to be where you serve, and then the outcome. Well, in this case, if you pull off a thermometer and you see a sticker, you already know where they serve because it's on your thermometer housing, so obviously. But you could say something like, let's just say like, what was the Simplify? Like, I'll just use an example. You could just say like, Simplify heating and air. Phone number, call us today. We're available 24 hours. Or we can fix it in 72 hours. Or we can fix it in 24 hours. Whatever. Like, that's the outcome. So it's like, Simplify, logo and stuff like that. And then a call to action, like a phone number. And then below it, we can fix your AC in 48 hours or less or something like that. All right, super simple. That's what Gemini is good for. And for some reason, it didn't. I want you to actually generate the image for me, please. Oh, no, I double-clicked it. Oh, man. Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. Take a sip of water. I need to slow down anyways. It's actually like freezing in my house. It's 76 degrees, and I'm freezing cold because I got so used to being warm. Yeah, so here's the idea, right? Like, you have a fridge magnet. This one's freaking massive and huge. I would never do this. What I would do, little hack here, I would do this. HVAC furnace magnet. And then I'm just copying this, but my voice to text thing is not working properly. I'm not sure why. Go to let's look up brand furnace magnet. Okay. That's what is that? HVAC magnet. HVAC. Let's just do that. Let's just do magnet. Maybe it just pulls it up by that. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, because you just stick this on the furnace. That's fine. Yeah, so you find one that you like. So let's find that one we like, and let's try not to spend too much time. I might end up spending a lot of time. And I actually built one of these live on stream, by the way. That's helpful. You can go back in the streams and watch if you'd like. It's not that long. I think maybe a month and a half ago is when it was that I did that. But this is a good example, okay? Let's see if the image loads. I'm just going to screenshot this, and then I'm going to go to Gemini, and I'm going to upload a file. I'm going to drop a file real quick, the one I just did the screenshot of, and I'm just going to say, I want it to look like this, but I want you to use our brand, our style, our guidelines for making it. And these are super rushed, by the way. Really quick. Okay, so here's the big one for Gemini. And I need to end the stream. I got 3 minutes. Sorry, guys. If you connect your drive, right? Like, okay, here we go. We just created one. And we can make a blank one that we can actually print and actually go have it printed for like... I should just pull up the YouTube video. I mean, you'll see it. Anyways, so you can have this set up to where you can actually go print it and stuff, okay? This is the really important part. You can connect your drive to your Gemini, and then you can have all the instructions inside of your drive for your brand, your style, your guideline, everything that you want inside of the Google Drive. And that's why I'm saying it's really helpful and really important that you build everything inside of the Google Drive. At least that's what I do, and that's what I enjoy. Is because once you build it once inside of the Google Drive, it's there until until you lose it permanently because you were being sloppy. But I mean, I create backups on my stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then so that has everything covered that we need to. That's like the simplest setup possible. Again, this is the way I do it. I'll do a recap because I need to leave in about 2 minutes. I have a Google Drive. That's where I have a business folder. I have my inbox, my knowledge base, permanent things, semi-permanent things. I have a calendar, time-based things. I have a projects folder for the projects I'm doing, email campaigns, stuff like that. I have an archive. That's where everything goes. So if I try not to delete things because you may need it later, which is really handy. So that's a Google Drive. Okay. And then the most tools that I use personally is Claude, Gemini, NotebookLM. Both of these are from Google. So these are both Google products, which are really good. They all connect. The ecosystem, they all connect together. Same thing with Claude. Claude connects to Google Drive. It does not actually connect directly to Gemini or NotebookLM, but if everything is in the drive and you're utilizing it in NotebookLM, you're utilizing it in Gemini, you're utilizing it in Claude, you'll have this same output, right? Like this is what you're getting, right? Consistency. And the main things that AI is good at right now is websites. Like I said, my website has been completely, I made it with Claude Design, and we could go about that in a different video. Like I said, it's a pretty advanced topic because I use like WordPress with PHP files and a custom theme to where I can push this whenever I want. But this is all made with Claude Design. I mean, this is insane, right? Like, you couldn't do this a couple of years ago. I mean, this is nuts. But again, it's not easy. It's still challenging, but you could definitely do it. Websites, your Google Business Profile, helps you manage that, like posting and stuff like that. Reviews, huge one. Reviews are, again, it takes 30 seconds to respond, but we're so busy, man. It's like, it's not the time, it's the effort that's so challenging about reviews. But reviews is like the number one that AI can help you with. Just post anything. Just say thank you, and that's it. If you don't post anything at all, booking, you can connect your Calendly if you use Calendly or different stuff like that to Claude. I use Calendly for several years now. I use GHL, so I don't need it, but it works pretty well. And then follow-ups, you can use like scheduling with Claude and stuff like that. So, anyways, I've got to go. Thank you so much for stopping in and hanging out. I hope this all makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, or you just want to send me a message, let me know. We can chat, and I can answer any questions you have. Okay? Thank you so much, and I will see you, I think Monday. I've got to go to California tomorrow, so I will see you Monday. Okay? You'll have a good one. All right. Bye, everyone.